Hey friends, thanks so much for coming back this week and listening to a little bit more about Moses. We're actually going to finish him up this week, and so we're going to see what our big finale is. So we've been following Moses and the Israelites. God has already delivered them and saved them from the Egyptians, and the Israelites have kept doubting God taking care of them. First they were worried about water, and he provided that for them, and then they were worried about food, and he gave that to them too. So let's see what else they got going on. So we are going to still be in the book of Exodus, and we are actually going to be in chapter 20. So Exodus 20, if you want to go ahead and turn there, you can kind of read about this with me. So the Israelites, and so they were following him over there. And so Moses told the people, you know, God, I need to go talk to God. I'm going to climb up this mountain. You guys stay here. Don't touch the mountain. It's very holy because this is where God is. And he's really, really powerful, and it could probably hurt you guys. So y'all just stay here, and I'm going to go up there and I'm going to talk to him. So they stayed, and Moses went up the mountain and spoke with God. And God, he was right. God was so powerful and so just amazing that Moses couldn't really even look at him. God had to put his hand over him and make sure to shield him from all of his glory and his just awesomeness that he was, because it was just so overwhelming for a person to be in the presence of God. So that was a very big thing. So Moses was talking with God, and God said, you know what, I'm going to give you some rules or commandments that you need to take down to the people, and you need to explain to them that these are the things that I need them to do, and they are good things, and they need to keep these commandments that I'm going to give you, and I will always protect them, and they will always be my people. So Moses and God kind of talked things out, and Moses was up there for a while. He was up there for 40 days. Oh, 40 days. So can you imagine what the people that were waiting on him to come back down, they were probably every day, where's Moses? What's going on? You know, and probably getting a little antsy. They had been in the same place for 40 days, you know, and they were just probably tired of being there. They were ready to get going. So they went to Moses' brother Aaron, and they said, hey, Aaron, look, we're not believing that this is going down. We're not liking that we're staying here. And you know what? We need something that we can see. We need something that we can worship, that we can actually see. So you know, we need you to do something about that. So, you know, Aaron knew that there was only one true God, but instead of wanting to make God happy, he wanted to make the people happy. So instead of doing what he knew God wanted him to do, he wanted the people to like him. So he collected a bunch of gold from them, and he melted it down, and he made this golden calf and set it up, and the people worship and believe in. So they were worshiping this golden calf, which we know is pretty silly. That's a thing. That's nothing that the golden calf can do them. Not to mention, God had already provided all these things for them, and all it took was 40 days without Moses for them to start doubting God. So here comes Moses back down. He's holding these pieces of stone that had been written in, because back then they didn't have pieces of paper and pen to write things down, and so he had to actually chisel in these stones what God had told him to tell the people, what these commandments were. So here comes Moses. He's got these stones, right, that God had told him to take. He's coming down the mountain, and he's presenting these stones to the people, and he's telling them, guys, I've been with the Lord and He has told me all of these things that we need to do, that He wants us to do, and they're all very good things. These are promises and commandments that we need to keep. And He went down the list, and the first one is that always love God, right? No other God but God. And then the second one is don't have any other gods but the one God. But what did they do? They created a fake God, a golden calf that they were worshiping and praying to while Moses had been away. So Moses got really, really upset about that, as you can imagine, and destroyed the golden calf. And he said, no, we have this one true God. What else do you want? He has saved you from all of these things, and He's provided all of these things for you. Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that God is God, and He can do anything. So that was a pretty big lesson for the Israelites to learn, and I think they finally got it. So they had all these other commandments that God wanted them to know about, which were really, really great, and we still follow them today. So you have God is the one true God. You don't worship anybody else but Him because He's the only one. You don't say God's name in an ugly way, right? Because He's holy and wonderful, and we only want to speak of God in a wonderful way. So you remember that Sunday is a special day. You remember when God sent the manna down from heaven. He told him, I'm going to give it to you for 6 days, but on the 7th day, that's a day of rest. And we don't work that day, so I'll send you enough for 2 days on the 6th day, and that way on Sunday you can rest, because I'm going to rest. So we still do that today. We have church on Sunday, and we worship God, and we rest that day. So you want to love your father and your mother. You respect them and do as they say. That's always a great thing, because then we don't get in trouble. You don't kill anybody. We know not to do that. Husbands and wives, they keep their promises to each other that they made on their wedding day. We don't steal. We don't take things from people, right? Yeah, that's a good one. We don't lie. That's a good one too, because we probably get in trouble when we lie, right? So we don't want to do that. We always want to be truthful. And then we don't want to have something that someone else has. So if somebody else has something that you're just like, oh man, I really want that, you want to be thankful for the things that you have. And you just look around, and I'm sure you can find all kinds of things that you just love. So, and that's what we want to focus on. So these are wonderful rules. They're 10 rules that God gave us, 10 commandments. Amazing. Isn't it wonderful how this was such a long time ago, and all of this still applies to us today. So let's remember when we're doing our Bible study and we're asking questions about God and the Bible, whether you're talking to your parents or your Sunday school teacher, that this is not something that only happened just a long time ago. This is things that we go through today too. So let's remember that. I love that. God always talks to us through the Bible, through His Word, and it's important that we read that and we want to learn more about it so we can live in the right way. So that's an awesome lesson. I'm so excited that we got to end Moses with the 10 Commandments. Those are so great. And we'll see what we have in store next week. I'm really excited to see what God has to say to us then. Thank y'all. We'll see you then. Bye.